What's up, Twitch and YouTube? It's MurphyD55 coming to you with another episode of Around the Alohorn, episode number 15, and we have one of the foremost content creators in the Madden directory, my guy, DubDot, MCS champion, fantastic content creator, and the creator of Need It Gaming and Boss Bot Wars, which is going to be coming up this coming weekend, I believe. So I was hoping to talk to you a little bit about that. I know you just had your own podcast last night, kind of going into detail about that. But W, first and foremost, thank you so much for taking the time to be in here, my friend.
Thanks for having me, man. I'm excited to be here. I'm excited for all the work you're putting in. I notice it. It does not go unnoticed from my perspective. And I first need to know, what is the Alohorns? What's the Alohorns? What is that?
That's a very good question. So that's around the Alohorn, the sports show on like ESPN or whatever you guys have down in the States. A Alohorn is like a Viking, like a war horn that they blow before they go into battle. I'm a big time Vikings fan. Recently eliminated from the playoffs thanks to your Philadelphia Eagles. Actually, we were fighting for that last spot with you guys. So that's what it is. Play on words, trying to lean into the Viking angle a little bit.
Okay, so you're Canadian.
I am Canadian.
That's a lot of Canadians. I feel like the Canadians have a strong, grasp on the Madden community, especially the Twitch community. I feel like Twitch is bigger in Canada than it is in America. I'll be honest. You guys are very well represented in the Madden Twitch community.
I appreciate that, and the funny thing is a lot of the Canadian guys that are kind of you see up there on the directory now are guys like Up and Adam Luch, guys who started right around the same time as me out of, kind of one CFM that we had going on. So it's really cool to see those guys who have now become, IRL friends of mine, doing their thing and putting in the work. And I really do appreciate that you notice the work going in. It's it's tough to keep your ear to the street because I'm sure you're getting pulled in 1,000 different directions by, just how big the size of your community and how many people come into your streams on a daily basis. I'm not gonna lie, I was very excited, and my heart rate went up a little bit when I saw that you actually responded to my message a couple days before Christmas. I was, I think I had a quiet stream that day, and I was super motivated, had so many ideas, and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna go ahead and shoot my shot here at the biggest name. And honestly, it's kind of crazy. It's still surreal to see you sitting there on the overlay on my streams. So we'll try to make the most of our time together today.
Sure.
Yeah, but first thing I want to talk about. So I saw that you had some Christmas and New Year's celebrations with the family. You're pretty good about sharing your personal life on your Instagram account. Letting people in and getting a glimpse of your life behind the scenes over there. Have you always kind of felt like it's important to let your chat and people in your community kind of get a glimpse of life outside of the stream?
I don't really ever think about that. I think it helps being relatable. I think it helps being a person. I think it helps, you're just a face on a screen that plays video games. How relatable are you? I think being a person always helps. And it always makes people, see that side of you. But for me, I'm just proud of it. I mean, having a baby and a family is something I'm more proud of than anything. So it's hard to hold that back. If it was up to me, I'd put a picture of my son up every single day, So for me, that's kind of where it comes from. But I think it definitely helps being relatable to people all across, different forms, and that's kind of how I always was before Twitch and everything like that. I don't really promote my Instagram too much because it's always kind of been the same, just posting pictures of me and my family for the most part.
Yeah, and you just had CP2 just had his first birthday. What was it, yesterday? A couple days ago? I saw that through your Instagram as well. So is that kind of crazy to think that he's a year old already? Does it feel like it's been a whirlwind of a year he's been around, or?
Yeah, I mean, whirlwind, it was really fast. It's definitely, it puts everything in perspective that not a lot of this other stuff matters, like video games and anything really. I feel like I'm 34, so I didn't have a baby till I was, I guess, 33, and I guess it makes you think, the previous 32, 33 years is like what, it's kind of pointless. Like, you were here to make, a family, have kids. At least that's how I feel. Everybody has a different view, but for me, it definitely was the reason why I'm here, and it kind of puts everything else in the back seat and everything else almost irrelevant as him and your family is the primary focus for the rest of my life, and I can't be more excited about it, really.
Yeah, absolutely. And have you found like your hours are pretty much upside down to a regular human's hours? You're up streaming late. Normally I catch the beginning of your stream, you're on Madden in the morning, and then you've switched gears to Apex by the time I wake up and I'm getting ready for work. So you're putting in long hours overnight. How does that kind of go along with being able to spend time with your wife and CP2's sleep schedule? Like, is he pretty much asleep the whole time that you're live? or is it?
Yeah, and I think one of the biggest problems in this is that I'm a gamer. Like I feel like games are always meant to be played at night. I think people that I guess that's because I always worked or went to school, and the time to play video games was when you got home from that. So I would
Yeah,
go play the games at nighttime, boom, and then before you know it, it's 4 or 5 p.m., 5 a.m., and you gotta go to bed to go for work or school or something. And I think that cycle hasn't really changed for me, man. I get on the game before I know it, whether it's Madden or any game, really. Before I know it, it's 5 a.m. and it's like, damn, I go to sleep. And now I see it's really that I tell people this and they don't understand it. When I was 18, 17 to 20 and everything, video games hurt me from taking focus off of school, taking
yeah,
focus off of work, taking focus off the rest of my life because I was playing too many video games, really. And
yeah,
to me, I notice the same exact thing right now. When I literally get paid to play video games, but playing video games lower my effectiveness, they lower my productivity. If I sit and play games for 8, 10 hours, I'm not productive. I don't have as much energy the next day. I don't want to do
yeah,
much the next day. In a perfect world, even for somebody that gets paid to play video games, I think 4 to 5 hours is probably max. That would
yeah,
be my most effective string. And then I try to balance, okay, am I really getting better at Madden if I only play 4 hours, And then I'm just streaming. So, like, I'm not really locked in playing, practicing, and things like that. I mean, it's definitely a tough balance. And then I'll wake up and then, or I'll go to bed, I'll get offline if it's 4 or 5. And before you know it, it's 6 o'clock. I haven't gone to sleep yet because I'm still a little wired.
yeah,
And then, he wakes up at 7 o'clock and she has to go to work at 9. So, then I'm with him from 9 o'clock till 6 o'clock. So I try to sleep when
yeah,
he sleeps, but that's
yeah,
easier said than done. And then before I know it, I'm only really sleeping when she gets home from work and before I got to turn the Xbox back on. So from
yeah.
5 p.m. to 9 p.m. So it's just you sleep when you can. But I have
Absolutely.
noticed that playing video games hurt my productivity, and it's crazy that I can say that. But it's true, even though I get paid. And the biggest excuse as a streamer is that I could just play video games, not put any work in, and just make a living. Like
Yeah,
literally, just boot up, play video games.
yeah,
I don't have to make videos. I don't have to interact with anybody. I could just play video games and
yeah,
literally make money and make a living doing that. And
yeah.
that's one of the biggest excuses that hold me back, that have held me back in the past. And I try my best to not let it happen and go on. Really.
Yeah, absolutely. And you talked to me just briefly before we hopped on here that you were saying you probably got about 2 hours of sleep last night. Are you kind of like on the nap schedule where your sleep consists of naps whenever you can get the time in?
Yeah, I try
Yeah,
to, okay, I got 2 hours right now. Let's try to go to sleep, but I
yeah,
don't have the ability to like, boom, I'm asleep. I wake back up. Like I don't really have that
yeah,
ability. It's like it's gonna take an hour to go to sleep. So by the time that happens, oh, he woke up again, or
yeah,
something like that. But I definitely, it's not that big a deal. I get to stay at home all
yeah,
day and play with him, and I still get to play video games. So
yeah,
every time I kind of find myself wanting to say this is tough, it's not tough at all. And I think I'm
yeah.
blessed to be able to have worked my whole life, and then get to this point. It's like, so, having a little bit of sleep is really not that big a deal when you get to wake up and make videos and play video games. That's a
Yeah.
blessing.
Absolutely. And would you say that, for a lot of people, obviously, like people who watch you and people who watch Twitch in general, especially the younger guys, they might look at, being a full time content creator as kind of like a life goal, a dream job type thing. Whereas, maybe, if you're just about the same age as me, I'm 33 years old. Like this job didn't exist, when I was, 12 years old, 16 years old, the average, Twitch viewers. So was this something you had envisioned or at what point did it start becoming a real possibility that your primary source of income was going to be, streaming and content creation?
No, I mean, not at all. I mean, I probably found out about Twitch when I was 28. I
Yeah,
mean, I played video games heavy in Madden 08 and Gears of War, Madden 09, like 16, 17 to like 19. I played video games, and my age wise, like age
yeah,
17 to 19. Once I started getting into like college, community college, and once I was in my 20s, I didn't really play video games like that. And I always played Madden a little bit and
yeah,
try to be really good. I was always really good at it. And then once Madden 16 came around and the MCS came around, and then Twitch, everybody started having the internet and everybody getting on Twitch. And I remember watching people play, and so you can make money from doing this. I said, all right, I'll try. So I definitely
yeah,
started streaming Madden 16, Madden 17, and then it helped that I won a Madden tournament, so I had like that chunk of money to kind of start, let's buy a computer and buy a bunch of monitors and stuff like that and invest in myself. I still am, it's not like you're just making money and putting it away. Like a lot of, honestly, for the first four years, most of the money I made, I put right back into streaming. I still do.
Yeah.
I mean, I paid for this bot war stuff. I give these people money. Everything I do, I paid for a lot of stuff. I continue to keep putting my money into it because I believe in it. So, for me, I don't know if it was ever like can be a dream. It
Yeah.
really, honestly, it's not. I don't know.
Yeah.
It just kind of slowly developed to that, and then it's like, okay, this is making me enough money to where this is all I really need to do. It was good
Yeah.
because I was blessed because I always worked with my father. Like he had his own tree business, climbing trees, cutting
Yeah.
trees. So I was able to kind of transition. A lot of people are like on that fence, like I have a job and do I quit my job or do I keep going to work? I was able to kind of 50-50, I guess, or
Yeah.
because I am 170 grand and I had that and I was able to buy stuff and pay some rent and everything. It got to a point where, I was working with my dad maybe once a week. And then it slowly got to a
Yeah.
point where I was just kind of working and I didn't really get paid from them,
Yeah.
so it was just a transition. And I was super blessed for the opportunity to have that transition to go to full-time Madden player. And then before you know it, the pandemic hit and
Yeah.
I was in Ohio. So this is all I had to do out here. So
Yeah.
it's definitely a blessing. And I never try to lose my gratitude and my realization of how much of a dream job this is.
Absolutely, and kind of, but also at the same time, hopefully taking a lot of pride in what you've been able to build, whether or not it was your dream from a young age. What you're saying, it really wasn't. It kind of was capitalizing on, your success in the Madden events and being able to have that flexibility between your dad's company. But I will say it comes across like very clearly that you do take a lot of pride in the product you put out there. Boss Bot Wars isn't something where you just hit up a couple friends in Discord and boot up a stream and figure it out on the go. You're putting a lot of hours in behind the scenes too, like beyond what people see on the day-to-day streams. Like how much time out of a given day would you say that you're spending, whether it's with like branding stuff, planning, coming up with graphics, how many hours a day are you putting into the stuff that we don't necessarily see?
I mean, I would say every chance I get during the day, I'm trying to do something. I have this hyper like, and I don't want to say like panic, but hyper like, just I feel like I always got to be doing something. I'm not. I'm wasting my life.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a sickness right now that like if I sit down for an hour and I don't like make a video or make some type of graphic or do some type of social media, I feel like I'm wasting that hour, and it's
Yeah.
almost sickening right now that my type of like drive to constantly be doing something, because I feel like like you said about this job not being, nobody knows where this job is going to go when I'm
Mm-hmm.
30 or 40. Nobody, or when I'm 40,
Yeah.
I'm already old, but
Yeah.
like, so for me, nobody knows where it's going to go. So I definitely have a panic to where, I need to capitalize now because it's going really well now. I don't know
Yeah.
where to be in 5 years or 10 years. It is a unwritten or unwalked path that I'm on
Yeah.
right now. So for me, I have just a just an anxiousness and an uncertainty about how this job will provide for my family, honestly. So for me,
Yeah.
I'm very driven right now, and I have to keep that, do what I do to keep that motivation.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's kind of got to be nerve wracking because for me, I'm a teacher by trade. That's my day job. So that's something that I always intend to do. This is something that I take a lot of pride in, and I'm super enthusiastic about, and I want to grow it. But there's never that stress of where's my next paycheck going to come from if I have a slow month, or if like on Twitch. So you're kind of a trailblazer in that sense, because you're right. Twitch has only been around for so many years. We don't know how sustainable that is. And one thing I was wondering for a streamer, you're always one of the top guys in the Madden directory, the top guy in the Madden directory. Do you feel like there's ever a sense of people, like from a financial perspective, they say, oh, look at, Dubby's got 3,000, 4,000 subs in his channel. I don't need to sub. He's good. Like I'll go take my money elsewhere. Do you ever feel like that's a thing at all on your channel? I mean,
I don't
yeah.
know. I don't know. I think, yeah, that's the thing. And then I watch Nick Merckx get 4,000, 5,000 subs every single day. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I realize that, you can't really stress about it, and I feel
Yeah.
like I don't know. I think it's a blessing to have that many subs. I think
Yeah.
the 1,000 sub mark is pretty legit as a streamer. It really
Yeah.
is. So, and you can keep that, and that's a good problem to have. I never really thought that, and
Yeah.
just trying to keep going every single day, really, for the most part.
Yeah. Yeah, it's something that's out of your control anyways, so there's no
Mm-hmm.
sense dwelling on it too much. But you mentioned Nick Merckx, who obviously like his streams are insane. Like even be able to keep up with the chat and keep up with the donations coming in. I had some friends who kind of put me onto to him, and it's not really I stay within the Madden directory mostly, but are there content creators that you spend a lot of time watching on Twitch still, or does your schedule even allow you to be a viewer at all at this point?
Yeah, I probably have Twitch up on my computer at all times. I
Yeah.
really do. I think watching other streamers, whether it be Nick Merckx or Dr. Disrespect or
Yeah.
all the Apex streamers I watch, has 100% made me a better Madden streamer. It
Yeah.
has made me realize what they do well and what I can incorporate to my stream, and what makes them successful. It's funny because I watch two different streamers of the same video game and like one that much better. Why do I like this guy better than that guy? They're both good at the
Yeah.
game, but why is this guy better than that guy? So watching other streamers that aren't Madden streamers, because Madden streamers, they are what they are. I mean, if I stay in the Madden realm, I'll be content, to be
Yeah.
honest. Okay, I'm the best Madden streamer.
Yeah.
Whoopity do. Like if that was my job, I'd be done now, right? I conquered that already.
Yeah.
So I look at I as much as like Nick Merckx is, that's the pinnacle. That's where I want to be. So I watch that stuff. I watch other people stream. I watch different tip videos on streaming. Everything, public speaking videos. I
Yeah.
really just try to continue to get better at what I do, and not in a realm of Madden, because the realm of Madden is already hamstringing everybody that does it from a content level. So you can't let it hamstring your ability
Yeah.
as a streamer or a YouTuber or anything like that. So I definitely have become a better streamer by watching other games and larger the super successful mega streamers for sure.
Yeah, and you mentioned one thing. I think it might have been in the podcast you did with Fendler back in the summertime. But you said that you are the content to a degree. So if you let Madden dictate and how often they're putting out new cards or new promos dictate, it kind of limits you. But you feel like you could stream Madden at any time of the year and still hold a crowd and make it enjoyable for the chat and profitable for yourself. So that's kind of gives you some consistency and a little bit of a safety blanket for years where people are fed up with the game. What would you say is the opinion from like the guys in your chat, the guys that you that you're in touch with? How would you feel the state of the game is? Oh, there you go, a little fly in with the coffee there. That's clutch.
Yeah.
Do you feel like it's like as opposed to maybe Madden 20, Madden 21?
I'm not the biggest game complainer.
Yeah.
I listen, when I'm playing a game, I hate everybody involved. I hate my opponent. I hate the EA. I hate everybody,
Yeah.
because in the middle of the game, it's like you have passion and you have anger and you have you're just like you're in that actual like realm. You're in that moment,
Yeah.
and I'm to the point where the way I talk to my opponent and Clint and everybody during the game is like, it's just, I've always been able to separate that, from my regular feelings. I mean, I used to talk a lot of shit playing sports, all the time, and I wasn't necessarily good, and I felt like that helps when you're not good, right? And you
Yeah.
talk the most shit. I feel like that's like makes them more mad. So I was always good, but I was always able to separate that afterwards, like, and just have a level-headed mind. We don't make the game; we just play the game.
Yeah.
I don't have a choice but to like the game. I can't just turn the game off.
Yeah.
I can't just say, I'm not playing Madden this year. This is like, as much as it's my career is Madden. If I don't
Yeah.
have Madden, I don't have a job.
Yeah.
And honestly, I'm here because I like it. I like playing it, no matter how bad it is or how much we don't like it. I will always be good at it, and
Yeah.
that helps me. Sometimes I step away and think, damn, I'm having trouble stopping Derrick Henry. I'm having trouble stopping this guy, that guy. Imagine what a regular Joe is doing playing Madden.
Oh
They're
yeah.
probably losing their mind. And it
Absolutely.
helps me. I could score every time, fairly easily. Imagine if I couldn't score, I would hate this game.
Yeah.
So for me, being good at the game has always helped me. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not going to lose a lot, no matter how shitty the game is. So I've never been. I think, and I tell people this all the time about Madden. A lot of questions you get is, how do I become really good at Madden, man? I want to
Mhm.
get better. And one thing is, man, you can't hate the game, or you can't blame the game, man. If you're fighting your opponent and the game at the same time, even you might be fighting the game might really
Yeah.
be horking you. I mean, that happens, right? Like, but if mentally you're fighting the game and your opponent, you're going to lose, man. You got to accept the game. You got to just know what it is, and you can't be too mad at it for the most part.
Yeah.
You can't let your frustration and anger for the game cloud your mind for getting better at it, really. So I've never been a big this game sucks, it's terrible, and if I do, it's just in the moment of a game
Yeah.
or something like that. I mean, it is what it is. Like, I
Absolutely.
can hate the game all I want, I'm still going to press the Xbox button and play for 8 hours.
Yeah, 100%. And you say that Madden is your career, and you're so ingrained with like Madden. When you think Madden Twitch, we think W. Like with the NCAA game, being scheduled to come out in the next couple of years, and potentially with 2K, with EA losing the sole rights to having a football game. Do you think that you would branch out and try those games too, or do you think Madden's always going to be the home base, or do you think you'll also take time to play those other football games that are going to be coming out in the next little
I
bit?
mean, other football games are always going to be successful. Other sports games in general, it
Yeah,
was easy to play baseball because I mean
yeah,
most people that watch, it's just easier to transition to another sports game. It's been a lot harder to transition to other like shooter games or single player games
yeah,
because you probably say if you have 1,000 people watching you, you'll probably obviously if you have 1,000 football fans, you're probably at least going to have half of them watch baseball or
yeah,
sports, right? Other sports, right? In basketball, you might have 80% of those guys. So it's kind of easier transitioning to another sports game. So in football is just, I mean, that's going to be absolutely beautiful for streamers, for Twitch
yeah,
streamers, and football guys, because you're going to get a month of NCAA, which I'll be good at because it's just Madden, but
yeah,
collegey with options and stuff. But I'll still be good at that,
yeah,
and then we'll have Madden, and then before you know it, baseball come out. It'll be a consistent schedule around the
yeah.
Gjallarhorn, I guess, right?
Yeah,
So we'll be
exactly.
ready to
That's
go.
right. Good
So
branding right
I
there.
can't wait. And I used to really play NCAA a lot. It was a great game, and we always just play NCAA to think like, man, if I could get an NCAA, I'll be great when Madden comes out.
Yeah,
But for me, yeah, I can't wait. I'll be excited for it. The online dynasty or competitive, I don't even know what it's called. The dynasty where everybody has a
yeah,
team, you recruit players. Nothing better than an online experience, man. So all you guys that are on the CFM guy, the
yeah,
Diamond Dynasty or whatever the hell it was, it blows CFM out of the water for real.
yeah. So they basically found a way to fix Madden franchise just in the NCAA mode, make it what the mode that we want in Madden, basically. I gotta try it
Yeah.
out. I haven't played it since I think Matt Leinart was on the cover, so it's been a few years since I've played NCAA. But you did have a lot of success this past summer streaming MLB The Show, and how did you find it? Is that something that you think you'll continue like as a seasonal thing? Like this year, you're gonna go heavy into the MLB The Show as well. During the down season of Madden.
Absolutely. It helped me for a couple of reasons. It was that I'm not good at it. I'm not. I'm elite at Madden, and I
Yeah,
realize it when half of the chat leaves when I play, like instantly leaves when I play another game. Or for the
yeah,
podcast, for instance, we have 700 people, and as soon as I start a game of Madden, here's another 800 people. Like, where did they come? There's half of the people literally
yeah,
just want to watch me play the game.
yeah,
And that's how Madden is because I'm good at it, right?
yeah,
But for me, baseball, I'm not good at. So, okay, how can I make this entertaining if I'm not hitting home runs all day, right? I'm not,
yeah,
I watch my buddy AJ, who's like insanely good at MLB. He's
yeah,
like the best. He just hits home runs. It's like, dude, like, how do you do this, right? And I can't do it. I'm not that good at the game. I'm a regular guy, like we all are at video games at MLB. So I step away. It's kind of like watching the other streamers. How can I make me striking out a million times entertaining for people and make them want to watch?
yeah,
And it's made me a better streamer for this and a better streamer for Madden. It all like ties
yeah,
together, and it's been great. It's helped me a lot, and it's the exact opposite time of Madden is. Madden is a seasonal game, and MLB kind of fits right into that
yeah. It's
that
perfect.
what you call it, that void of the
Hmm.
year.
Yeah, absolutely. And so whereas guys like AJ and Skimbo making his 12-0 BR runs, you're out there putting the eye black on and getting out the skull and
Yeah.
and making it entertaining in your own way. And
Hmm.
or creating the 3 ring stadium too, which I thought was like I do think that's one thing that's really cool about MLB The Show. Like for a creative guy like you, who has a background in art, like how much do you enjoy creating the stadiums, creating your own jersey? Do you think that's something you'd ever like to see in Madden?
For me, yeah. I wish I
Yeah.
was the only one with it, and for everybody else that's going to put giant cock and balls on their helmet, I don't really know. So that'd be the best thing.
Yeah.
But for me, absolutely, I would love to do that stuff. I love it. 2K has it. It has super customized everything.
Yeah.
Obviously, MLB have everything, but Madden, we'll see if they go down that line.
Yeah.
I think there's so much cosmetically they could do to be
Yeah.
better. There's so like I'll play Apex, Fortnite, Call of Duty, whatever, and before I know it, I'm buying all these stupid ass skins just to make my
Oh
player
God.
like
Yeah.
literally like it's just like just to be like, yeah, my player looks cool, right? Just
Yeah.
for me to get shot and die anyway, right?
Yeah. No, for
Madden has
sure.
like zero cosmetic options, man. All their financial options are you have to buy to get your team better, really. So I think they really dropped the ball on the cosmetic side of Madden.
Yeah.
I really think they could have. I think for their uniforms, they should have like slot. Like these are the shoes you're going to wear just for your uniform. If you want to buy red shoes, here's $5. You got
Yeah.
red ruby shoes, right? Here's your
Yeah.
socks. Here's your pants. Here's your jersey. Here's your helmet. And everything's its own slot. And you got to buy
Yeah.
the cosmetic parts, the skins, and everything. Like for real, I honestly kind of like the
It's
yard, but I feel like even the yard is like lacking. I feel like they suck. I feel like they could do
yeah.
so much more. And I always thought, man, if they did so much more cosmetically to rake in all this money that these other games are doing cosmetically, it would lessen how much we have to spend to make our team better. So all
Yeah.
those guys that don't want to spend on their game, you can just wear regular Eagles jerseys.
Yeah.
But
That's
hey,
makes
if
sense,
you
dude.
want to spend $50 and get a nice uniform, perfectly, absolutely, it does not make your team better. It does not make
Yeah.
them faster. It does not give them chemistries. Just all for looks, honestly.
Yeah.
And I think that is something they are dropping the ball on. Like, seriously, I would love. How do we not have alternate jerseys? Like,
It's insane. No color rush this year. Nothing.
yeah,
Just the Jordan ones, the sponsored ones now. Yeah.
if you go on and play regs, there's like 60 jerseys per team,
Yeah.
and they should have that many more jerseys on the game. So,
Yeah.
as far as customizing it, there's so many options that they just lack cosmetically and Madden that are just kind of
Yeah.
boring. And where the cosmetic thing makes other games fun, especially for shitters, because I'm a
Yeah.
shitter at every game but Madden, and I sit here
Hmm.
and change my little outfit on my action figure all the time
Yeah.
just to go out there in the world and get shot. So the
Yeah.
cosmetic side, Madden, is definitely lacking.
For sure, and even something as simple as last year, they had a separate visuals tab and a separate strategy tab, so you could still wear your team's favorite uniforms on the field. Because say you're running a Packers team, I'm a Vikings fan. I don't want to wear Packers jerseys, but
Mhm.
like where did that tab go? Why did they decide to take that away? It's such a simple thing, and I'm sure somebody sent a message to EA Help about it and let them know that it's missing. But I mean, yeah, little stuff like that, kind of frustrating at times for sure. You talked a little bit about Apex and that you watch a lot of Apex streamers. Now, how did Apex become the default kind of late night game for you? When did you kind of make the decision to would playing Madden for 8 hours every night drive you crazy, pretty much?
No, I'll
Yeah.
be honest. I'm a sicko. I can play Madden. I
Yeah.
really can. I like Apex. I like a lot of games. I could really play a lot of games, man. I
Yeah.
could play Call of Duty. I could play, I could play Fortnite. I did play Fortnite when it was good before it got
Yeah.
crazy. I could play anything, man. I really have always been a gamer. Gears of War was like, and
I
I'm
remember
telling you,
that.
these other games, I'm completely bodish at all these other
Yeah.
games. Like,
Yeah.
not good at any of these games at all. I'm old. My fingers don't move too fast. I'm not good at them. If I put more time into them, I could get good at them, but I'm not good at them. It's just, I don't know. Apex was
Yeah.
cool because I grinded a little bit, and then they put me in the Twitch Rivals,
Yeah.
and so I got to like play with like the pros and like a pro tournament in Apex,
Yeah.
which was like it was like crazy. It was like, oh shit, this is like big deal. So I
Yeah.
got to know a lot of those guys, and it got me closer to that community. And I don't know, I just really like the game. I think it's like I'm a big strategy person, man. I really am. I like thinking. I like having a plan and putting it together. That's why I always like Madden. Like every play is a plan. Every play is it's a plan. That's exactly what the play is. It's a plan on how many yards, and hopefully you make the right plan before the play. And that's really what drives my love for Madden. And Apex is kind of like that, man. How are we
Yeah.
going to play this fight? How are we going to get to this area? How are we going to protect this area? It's just working together. I like that. So
Yeah.
but I like a bunch of games, and one thing I realized that if you bounce around a lot of games, that you kind of the best way to do like the secondary game is to kind of have a consistent game you go to, because then, like you said, if you got 1,000, you'll get a consistent, 100 people that stay there, and they chat about it, and you'll find that 10% of your chat that also loves that game. You might lose 90% of your viewers, but those 10% that stay, they're gonna get a little closer to you and have a different view for you, honestly.
Well,
I'll tell you this, is that I'm good at Madden. None of these guys in the chat can tell me anything about Madden, right? They can't tell me shit. They can sit there and play, and they're like, wow, I have no idea what's going on. I can't tell them how to play. When you get on another game, that's everybody's time to shine and tell you how good they are and how bad you are, and people get excited to be able to tell you something that they know more than you. For sometimes the chat's a little more active when you're bad at something, kind of how I'm bad at MUT cards in the marketplace.
Yeah, and speaking of the marketplace, I saw you put out a tweet, and I think you were getting a lot of blowback on your comment about the Zero Chill rerolls. Was that more to get a reaction out of people, or were you actually feeling like the rerolls was killing the content for a little while? Like, do you like to watch menu stuff when you're watching other people's streams? No.
Hell no.
Yeah.
Why? I never understood that. I never understood I can go do rerolls. Why would I watch somebody else do this shit? I don't know. It's like I have never liked watching other people open like packs of like. I don't know, man. I really don't. I guess I was always. I don't know, man.
You like to watch the sweats, the gameplay, and
No, I like watch a lot of different stuff, right? It's just packs is like I can't fathom why. I don't know. Why people would watch somebody open packs, like even real life packs. I can't watch people open why? It's not my pack. Yeah. It's not making me any money, right? Like it's not my card. If he opens a good card, then it's like, damn, I should have bought a pack. If they open a good card, like, damn, I should have bought that pack.
That's a real thing. I really don't know. Thing. Yeah. It's people who want to live vicariously. People who don't have the money to rip the bundles. Maybe. I mean, I guess I can get that for sure. I mean, people like the animations too. Like, people are really hooked on seeing these rainbow animations when somebody pulls a limited. I don't know. I don't know. People love it. We're visual learners, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. See, that's where I'm like.
To each his own, though. But what did you feel like about the Zero Chill promo that come out? A lot of these out of position cards, the Derrick Henry, quarterback. I've seen you tweeting about that and talking about that in your stream. Do you think this promo was fairly solid, like compared to what we've seen in previous years?
I think it's great. I think it's great. I really do. I mean, Derrick Henry's got everybody playing again. Every shitter thinks they can score again. It's giving me a nightmare. People are watching more Madden. The Zero Chill has been such a dub. I mean, I love it. I don't give a hell who the hell card comes out. I'll be honest. I really don't. Like, just like, give me the game I want to play. Yeah. One of my, and honestly, it's a flaw in my Madden content career. It is a flaw. It is a weakness that I don't care, that I don't play. I don't care. I don't care who the limiters are. I don't care what legends are coming out. I don't open my packs at the right time. I don't care. I don't, because I like playing the game. If I have Joe Schmo and Leon Sandcastle, I'm going to play the same. That's just so for me, I never really cared, but I do see how important it is. And then when a card like Derrick Henry comes out, I kind of have poured him up as best I can for content for the most part.
Yeah, for sure. And then I had a couple things I wanted to ask you about. So one of them being, you got the Need It headphones there. I know you got a custom Need It controller too. How did the Need It stream team come into being? Like, was that before? Was that pre? Because I only found Twitch maybe when COVID started, to be honest. So I'm fairly new in the game, but was that pre winning the belt, or was that post winning the belt when Need It became a thing?
I think it was definitely after the belt. Yeah. The biggest dream when you first get into esports is, I want to be on 100 Thieves, right? Or I want to be on FaZe. Like, that's that's like your biggest, like that if you do that, you're a professional gamer, right? Yeah. At the time, it was like Optic. Optic was like the big. That was the one I know. Like, at that time, when I didn't even have a computer, I just had an Xbox, right? I knew what Optic Gaming was. I don't watch any of that stuff, but I knew what that was, and they were like the biggest gaming org at the time in like 2017 or whatever.
Yeah.
And so I was excited, man. I was like, I can stream. I'm very well spoken. I know how to speak in a crowd. I'm older than all these Madden kids. I think that adds to that. So I was like,
Yeah.
I could really be on an esports team, for Madden. It was
Mm-hmm.
rare, but like there were some people that were on smaller esports teams. I'm like, yo, I could do this, right?
Yeah.
So I win a belt, and then I have my old tweets of being racist and racial slurs, and that kind of,
Mm-hmm.
it absolutely deadened any hope of me ever having a professional contract or a professional
Yeah.
career, with another big company.
Yeah.
That would never happen for me. And uh, once I realized that, like I said, you know what, I still want to do this gaming thing. I don't want to, take my money and go back to work. There's still an avenue for me in gaming. I can still be
Yeah.
successful. So that's when I said, I'm just going to make my own company. I said I'm going to make my own company, my own
Yeah.
org. I still don't even know what that entails. I'm trying to get better at it, and the stream team really is just, and really it's just my friends, like
Yeah.
my real friends, whether it be Vilma or Skimbo or Bugs. Like these guys are like my real friends, like I've known from
Yeah.
Madden for so long, that are genuinely my friends, whether I was making money playing Madden or I was just not playing Madden at all. So,
Yeah.
and my biggest goal was like, let's let's work together, motivate each other, and I went through a lot to learn how to be a streamer.
Yeah.
I watched a million YouTube videos. I downloaded a bunch of wrong software. I
Hmm.
just the trials and errors of becoming a regular human to a gaming streamer were definitely obstacles for me. And one of the biggest, you know, tools that I had to help my friends was, you know what? I went through that already. This is what you should get.
Yeah.
This is what you have to do. You're my friend. You don't have to go through what I went through. This is how you get graphics. This is how you do this, that, and the third. Boom, boom, boom. I have that experience. Let me help you. You're my friend. That's pretty much what the stream team was. Now I've
Yeah.
tried to like branch out and add different people
Yeah.
and everything, and it's a little bit. It's been a little bit hectic
Yeah.
adding people, but it's just ultimately it's, can I help Madden gamers and people that want to work become better streamers, and
Yeah.
that's pretty much what the goal is for the most part. But I will tell you, the first thing I see is who is working without me.
Yeah.
I've seen people that I want to be on. Like, then you have to work, man. I'm attracted to people that work. I think nobody has the drive that I have right now. So for me, if you're not willing to match that, then you're just gonna suck me into a life of being complacent.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be around people that make me complacent.
Yeah.
Because that's being complacent. I mean, you could be there, but you're not going to be as successful as you want to be.
Absolutely, and it's kind of you make a good point about wanting to be motivated by these guys in your group. That it's kind of a collective of borrowing ideas from people. For you, it might be labbing with people getting ready for MCS. I'm sure the needed guys like Vilma and Skimbo are getting in the lab with you to help prep you for these last chance qualifiers and all these other events. With seeing, like, do you kind of really feed off the success of some of these other guys? Like Skimbo is obviously crushing it right now. Little Man kind of came out of nowhere this past summer and just not just on Twitch but on YouTube and on TikTok, like just out of this world stuff. Like does that kind of I guess you're just giving people an avenue to grow as much as they want to. They still have to be able to do their own thing, but then need it's kind of the home base, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm glad I have Skimbo. I mean, he's working just as hard as I am.
Yeah.
I mean, he's already got me in the Madden side. He's got so many
Yeah.
belts. I tell people he's the best player I ever known. Like, he's
Yeah.
already got me on that, and he's working hard at everything else. So that keeps me trying to stay ahead of him at every
Yeah.
corner. And I tell him all the time, but thank you for keep working and motivating me, because he keeps me to the point where it's like, all right, I got to keep going, or he gonna pass me in everything. So
Yeah.
and honestly, I'm motivated by everybody that does Madden stuff. Like I said, I try to pay attention as much as I can. I never want to feel too big for the Madden community, because it's when all else fails, it's what you have to fall back on is the community, really.
Yeah.
And so I never try to too far or too big for any part of the Madden community, and people that are working. Like, if you're putting on this show, people are making YouTube videos, people are doing subathons, people are grinding
Mm-hmm.
streams. all to have, the job that I have right now.
Yeah.
So for me, who am I to say, I'm okay right now, I'm not going to work as hard as those guys. These guys, people are working and grinding, they're not making, a quarter of what I'm making, and I'm not
Yeah.
going to allow them to outwork me just because I already made it. So for me, I'm definitely motivated by the people that are, in the directory all the day, all the
Yeah.
time, and I'm glad I have people in my corner that are grinding as well, for real, for real.
Yeah, and I think it's good for the health of the directory too. When the top content creators are the hungriest guys too, because it really just forces everybody who's trying to get there to up their game and results in a lot more good content across the directory. And the last kind of big thing that I wanted to kind of focus on for this podcast was obviously you have Boss Bot Wars 5 coming up this Saturday. This Saturday coming up, right?
Yep,
So
this Saturday,
yeah,
Boss Fight Wars 5. I'll be honest, New Year's, the baby, we have not been promoting like we should have, but it is Saturday.
yeah,
Listen, we'll see. I'm sure it'll be lit. I'm sure it'll be a good time. We're getting some good matchups, and anybody can join the
yeah.
Boss Bot Wars. The first tournaments are on Friday, so if anybody wants to hop in there and play on next gen, whether it's PlayStation or Xbox, you get your chance for sure. I'm ready to have
Nice.
some new blood. I'm ready to find some new Madden players that want to hop on the screen and get things rocking for real, for real.
Yeah, and I will say, like, nobody cuts a promo like you. Like these hype videos have me ready to run through a wall every time I see BBW5. I'm getting hyped up for it, and it's kind of it's kind of like a gift. Like you talk about the community, like this is one thing where obviously you're always got to have well, for the most part, over 1,000 people in your stream. When you do Bot Wars, you're looking 4,000 or 5,000 people in the stream, and it seems like the entire Madden community, whether they're the the shitters or like the super competitive guys or the casual guys who like to watch pack openings and whatnot. It seems like everybody for one night every few months kind of comes into your channel. And what kind of gave you the idea to kind of go with that ladder format with these familiar faces coming in? Like, are we going to see a lot of the familiar bosses from the past returning for this one?
I mean, it goes to as far as the format goes to like a kind of what the MCS I guess kind of lacks, and it's not a bad thing. Is that
Mm-hmm.
it's hard for the same Madden players to continually win. The stuff
Yeah.
that like Drenny and Skimbo in the past and Problem have done is super hard. It's tough. So you can't rely on just kind of piping up these same characters because maybe they won't be back for the next 5 events.
Yeah.
And one thing I wanted a format where what we're going to bring back the same guys for the most part unless they lose a bunch, so you
Yeah.
can kind of get used to a character, and whether you like the character or more importantly you hate the character and you want to
Yep.
go there and laugh at them, and that's and so bringing back the same people keeps that passion that the crowd has for that certain player, and whether it be good or bad for the most part. So I thought consistently bringing back at least some of the guys is a good thing.
Yeah.
And I mean, we'll just keep throwing around ideas. At the end of the day, the funniest thing is just have two people on the camera and they can hear each other talk during a game. It's always the funniest thing, man. And we just get around and pretty much just tell jokes about each other, about the players, about everybody the whole
Yep.
time. That's pretty much just let's have two guys play Madden and 1,000 people tell jokes about him who can get their laughs off the most. That's pretty much what Boss Bot Wars is.
Yeah.
It's not going to last long. It's going to get canceled pretty soon here, boys. So just the fact we sit around on a campfire and make fun of the two players is
Yeah.
it's definitely, it's not going to make it long, but
Yeah.
it's definitely a fun time, and I'll just try to
Yeah.
throw around different ideas and
Yeah.
different themes and different productions. So it's definitely going well, and my biggest goal is to have a live one where everybody
Yes.
shows up.
That's the
You
next thing I
know,
wanted to ask about. I know you were originally targeting kind of this spring, and has anything changed with like Omnicron, all this other stuff going on that's kind of cropping up that we didn't really foresee, or are you feeling like pretty much on track, or is it kind of like a fluid situation here at this point?
it's definitely fluid. I
Yeah.
haven't heard much from the people we were talking to probably 2 months ago.
Yep.
The talks kind of died down from the venue we were talking to, so I'm not too sure. It's definitely something I'll be pushing for. But I'll be honest, I'm between having the baby and being a home worker. I
Yeah.
have not. We are on the cautious side as far as these
Yeah.
viruses and sicknesses. Our family is super on the cautious side. Like, I want to go to Tampa Bay and watch the Eagles play the Bucks in the playoffs so bad.
Mm-hmm.
I really do. Like, that's
Yeah.
like my buddy
Yeah.
asked me, "Do you want to go? Let's go to the playoff game. Watch Tom Brady versus the Eagles." And you know what? I want to go.
Yeah.
But I just gave her. She wanted to go watch Spider-Man with her brother this weekend, and I told her no.
you
So I can't go.
you
I
shot
can't want to
yourself in
tell
the
her.
foot.
Yeah, I did because I told her don't go to the movies because now I damn sure can't go to
Yeah.
Tampa Bay and watch the Eagles play in the playoffs. So we
Yeah.
are definitely on the cautious side of the virus. So I don't think. I think it definitely will have an effect on whether or not we get together for something
Yeah.
live here pretty soon.
But I'm sure it will happen at some point, whether it's this spring or
Oh
in the
yeah,
future. That's something that's obviously very important to you, like and kind of for a lot of the guys who aren't super competitive, because you said it, you want to do it where it's admission, like regular guys can get in there, who shows up and gets a ticket, or at the door, like the average Joes, the average Madden fans who aren't MCS level competitors can get in and see it in person, and that's something that really only the elitist of the elite players get to experience. Seeing two guys go head to head on a stage with TVs back to back. That's kind of a you know, special venue that really hasn't been done before, at least for the Madden community outside of the MCS itself.
yeah,
So definitely would be exciting. And there's one last thing I wanted to read. A little quote here. Is it okay if I quote you from Twitter a couple days ago here? Nothing.
absolutely.
All right. So I was reading. This was after you had already kind of agreed to sit down and do this podcast, which is really we're 15 episodes in, and it's an incredible, kind of a goal that I set for myself that I didn't know if it was attainable or not to get, somebody your caliber on here. And you were saying that you just want to have a better impact in 2022. You want to help more people out than you have, and that you're in such a great position, and you want to make it matter more. That the views, subs, interactions are empty, and you're never satisfied them. But you realize that you have this powerful influence on people and making an impact on other people's lives. And I feel like this, agreeing to come on to a small streamers podcast and take time, which is obviously, a big milestone for myself. That, if that was your New Year's resolution, you've definitely done a good job here. Is that, what kind of spurred you to kind of feel like, is there anything, any events or anything that kind of made you think like that? Or were you just kind of getting a bit retrospective at the new year?
Always feel that way. The biggest thing is that, dude, you never stop wanting more viewers and
Yeah.
subs, and that never stops. It doesn't stop on my level. I consistently am frustrated, consistently want more and more and more. That
Yeah.
never ends.
Yeah.
Like, it has never ended for me, dude. It was like, damn, I want 50 people to watch me play Madden. Damn, I want 100 people. I want 200 people. Oh, I got 300 people. Damn, can I get 4? It
Yeah.
never stops. Now it's like I have 1,500 people. Why don't
Yeah.
I have 2,000 people?
Yeah.
That is so empty, man. It
Yeah.
really is. It never stops. And the same thing with money.
Yeah.
Money, you never stop wanting more. There is never a point in your life where you say, you know what? I have enough money. I'm satisfied.
Yeah.
So if you do things for that goal, you'll never have satisfaction. But I mean, I just feel like, and you also, when people pass or you have funerals and people say good things, and that, like John Madden just passed, and they never talk about how much money they had or how many views they had or what they're it's always about the impact and stories about this person and how this person affected my life. That's always this. Let me tell you the story about this person. This is what they did for me. And I just feel like you need to build that resume more than you're just, I'm making this much money. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. Because for 5 years of streaming Madden and doing this stuff, you never are satisfied with your interactions. It's a never ending thing, man. And I feel like you need to look back and be able to say that you had a positive effect on people, man, because that's the most important thing you can have, man. And like I said, I never want to lose my gratitude of the position I've been blessed to be in. So I always want to use that for the best that I can, and that's positivity to other people and hope to help them. Just as we go to the stream team, how we talked about the stream team, how I want to help my friends and help other people, man, and whether who be in it. And I am always motivated by other people working in the Madden field. So for me, that's the motivating factor, and that's why I want to kind of keep that positivity and have a good impact on everybody that I have an interaction with going on out, really.
Well, I appreciate that, and honestly, I couldn't be more thankful for having you on here. I know that your time's super valuable. I didn't want to keep you on for much more than an hour because I know you're probably either looking to take a nap or looking to boot up a stream later on. But Dubby, thank you so much for taking the time to be on Around the Alohorn, man. And I'll definitely be tuning into your streams. I'll definitely be, keeping my ear to the street about Boss Bot Wars 5. And I know that everybody in here is super excited to watch that go down. And we'll just continue to support you in your journey to be one of those top streamers, not just in the Madden directory, but, on Twitch as a whole. So thank you, man. I really appreciate it. This has been an incredible sit down.
For sure. Thanks for having me on. Keep going. Keep going. I wanna be back for like around the Alohorn 80 or something like that. All
Let's
right.
go. All right, I'm marking you down now. I'm circling on my calendar. Might be a few years down the road, but we'll see where we're at then.
But listen, it should be just keep going, dude. I have 159 needed podcasts
Yeah.
per week. That's over 3 years of
Yeah.
talking to myself and to
Yeah.
the chat. So I mean, it is what you make it. I'll tell you that
Yeah.
right now. It is what you make it. So if you get in what you put out essentially, or you get out what you put in, and you got to
Yeah.
just stay at it for the most part. Really, that's
Yeah.
that's the hardest thing, man. You
Absolutely.
gotta do it when no people are watching, or 100 people are watching, or a million people are watching. It's got to be the same effort.
That's
Really.
good advice for all the upcoming streamers out there, and a new channel for the Needed podcast too that just came out a couple days ago,
we
right?
do.
So definitely,
Yeah, I do.
yeah. So we got all your links in the chat, guys. Go follow W on all platforms. We got links to most of his socials in here. We'll add that other one for the new YouTube as well. And W, take care, man. Thank you so much for this. I really appreciate it.
All right, buddy. Thanks for having me, man. Keep going.
Yeah, my pleasure. Take care.
All right, buddy.